Hi girlies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am finally ready to talk to you about what is causing my cystic acne, and it is because I am pregnant. On my social medias, I generally post self-care content, and now that I think about it, this is probably the least self-care thing I could have done. I'm still planning to mainly be posting about self-care, but for anyone that is interested in my pregnancy journey, I'm going to do a little sit down at the end of this video. I would normally start my morning off by oiling my hair and then doing some Pilates, but on this day I did neither of those things, and I actually sat and ate my leftover Chinese and watched season 1 of Bridgerton again. I've run out of my Gola Beauty hair oil. I haven't made up my mind whether I'm going to try out a new hair oil, so if you guys do have any suggestions, I would love to know what works for you. I'm starting this shower routine off with my Way Scalp and Body Scrub. This is a 2-in-1 deep cleansing foaming formula designed to cleanse, exfoliate and balance the natural biome of the scalp and skin. I generally exfoliate my scalp once a week, but I do sometimes use this twice, especially as my scalp has been very oily during my first trimester. This is in the scent Melrose Place, which you all know I love. The top notes are sparkling champagne and berries, the heart notes are rose and peony, and the base notes are white musk and sandalwood. My hair has definitely felt a little bit more oily, especially when I first started having these really big cystic breakouts, but I've actually been washing my hair every 3 days instead of every other day because I just don't have the energy. I'm pretty sure around week 8 or 9 of my pregnancy, I just washed my hair once that week because I was just being so sick. At the moment, my favourite shampoo combination is first going in with the Way Fine Hair Shampoo, and then for the second shampoo, I go in with the Fenty Clear Thinker. The Way Fine Hair Shampoo is a lightweight volumizing formula designed to cleanse, strengthen and lift flat or thin hair without weighing it down. The Fenty shampoo is a deep cleansing shampoo that removes excess buildup while still maintaining that natural moisture. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I should continue using this because when I got Google to do a little overview of this shampoo, it said it had salicylic acid in and you're really not supposed to use that when you're pregnant, but when I actually looked at the ingredients, it's not in there, so I'm not sure. I think I might stop using it until I've spoken to my midwife. Moving on to body care, the 2 shower gels that I most reach for, or at least most reached for in the last 2 weeks, is the Dove Raspberry Rendezvous and Bath & Body Works Winter Candy Apple. Today I'm going to use Winter Candy Apple. I'm not sure if this is a winter fragrance or a Christmas fragrance, but I just love that autumny winter apple scent. The top notes are red apple, candied orange and cinnamon. The heart notes are winter rose petals, maple leaf, cinnamon and neroli. And the base notes are white musk, oat moss and orris root. For my hair mask, I'm going in with Way's Fine to Medium Hair Mask, and this is also in the scent Melrose Place. To exfoliate, I'm going in with the Dove X Bridgerton collaboration in Raspberry Rendezvous. This has scent notes of raspberry and vanilla. I really love the formula for Dove's exfoliators. They're made with a quarter shea butter, so I always feel like my skin is very nourished after using this. My skin always feels smoother and hydrated, and I've definitely fallen into the trap that in order to see the best results, you need to use a really abrasive exfoliator, and that's just not the case. I really like to use this on my legs too. I feel like maybe the sensitivity of my legs have changed a little bit since I've been pregnant. I've said before I've noticed slight strawberry marks on my legs, and I'm sure this started happening towards the beginning of the year. Speaking of legs, I've definitely noticed that the hair on my legs are growing back a lot quicker, and to be honest, I think that's been the case for most of my body hair. I've noticed a little bit of fine hair around my belly, which is something new. I can't tell if my head hair is growing any quicker, but I am going to be pretty seething if every other part of my body, like the hair, is growing quicker but not on my head. For shaving, I'm going in with EOS's pomegranate and raspberry shaving cream. This is a non-foaming and moisturizing shaving cream with a bright fruity scent of pomegranate, raspberry and lotus blossom. This provides about 24 hours of hydration, and it's very quickly become my favorite shaving cream. Finish off this shower routine, I am of course going in with my favorite sundae, which is very vanilla. Something I have noticed is that a couple of my sundae whips smell a little bit different to me since I've been pregnant. I think it's the donut, or is it glazed donut one? Just smells a little bit strange to me now. I don't know why. I'm now out of the shower and I'm going in with the 2 hair products that I only really use post shower. I'm putting 2 or 3 drops of Jisoo's hair oil onto my hands and just running that through my hair whilst it's damp. I find that this really helps because I do get a little bit of frizz with my hair. I'm then going in with my conditioning hair primer from Lush, and I generally use my Super Milk, but sometimes I do use my Snow Fairy. For my body care, I'm first going to go in with the Vanillicious body lotion. This has scent notes of vanilla, sandalwood and caramel. I am such a big fan of Soap and Glory, and this is definitely within my top 3 favourite products. I'm then going in with Fenty Skin's Original Butter Drops, but I'll talk more about this product later. Oh, would you look at that, my belly is out. I have been so excited to tell you guys about the 3-step belly care routine that I've been doing. Now, I know it sounds a little bit mental, but I've been doing this since 4 weeks, 6 days pregnant, I think. I think that was when I found out. And I think I'm a creature of habit. So I probably need to start doing this, or I should start doing this around, the 2nd or 3rd trimester. But I thought, if I get in the habit of doing it now, I'm much more likely to be able to keep up with doing it in the 2nd and 3rd trimester. I had a chat with Dr. ChatGPT and I asked what I should be using to prevent stretch marks, and I also had a look over TikTok too. So my findings were that hyaluronic acid, shea butter and oil are going to be the best things to use to prevent. For my hyaluronic acid, I'm using the Ordinary's hyaluronic acid 2% and B5. I started off with the 30ml bottle and I got through that within about a month. Hyaluronic acid hydrates your skin and supports with elasticity. Well-hydrated skin is more flexible and is less likely to feel tight, and hopefully as my belly grows I won't have that tightness. For shea butter, there was no doubt in my mind I was definitely going to be using the Fenty whipped butter drops. Fenty actually knew that I was pregnant quite early on because I reached out to my representative just to double check that this was pregnancy safe, and they confirmed it was. The Fenty butter drops blend shea butter with multiple rich oils, and I think it's pronounced glycerin, to deeply nourish the skin. Shea butter helps to condition and repair the skin's moisture barrier, which keeps skin soft and smooth. This also promotes skin elasticity and supports with smoothness and dryness. And then for the very final step of my routine, I go in with bio oil. So bio oil is deeply hydrating, but it doesn't prevent stretch marks, but it improves the appearance. Again, if any of you guys have any recommendations for products you've used to prevent stretch marks, I would love to hear it, because this is just research. I don't really know anyone that's used these things and how successful it is. I'm then going in with Seroa's Very Much Love You stick, and I am absolutely obsessed with the glow. This has scent notes of strawberries, cream and roses. This is perfect for anyone who loves scents like Kayali's Yum, or that kind of marshmallow sweet dessert kind of fragrance. The stick leaves you with this stunning pink and gold shimmer, and I just cannot wait to use this in summer. For perfume, I'm pairing this with Kayali's Yum Bougie Marshmallow and Eden. Yum has scent notes of pink marshmallow, succulent strawberry, coconut flakes and whipped vanilla. Eden's top notes are crisp red apple, tart blackcurrant, pink grapefruit and exotic lychee. Hey girlies, it's been a little bit of a while since I've done a sit down talking video, and that is because I cannot help but mention that I am pregnant. The secret is out now, so it's fine, I can talk to everyone again. Let me tell you, it has been a very difficult task for me not to keep telling people that I am pregnant, because people will ask me how I am and I'm like, oh, I've been really sick. They're like, oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, pregnant. So I am 12 weeks pregnant. We went for our 12-week scan yesterday and I was like, yes, I can tell everyone everything's fine. So excited. I'm so excited. I've been telling you guys about how much I've been struggling with cystic hormonal acne, and that is because I'm pregnant. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like double, maybe triple the amount I would normally get around my period. To be honest, it's pretty cystic. I'm hoping that now I'm 12 weeks, it's going to start calming down. A lot of this is scarring, and that'll go within the next month. On top of that as well, I have been struggling with morning sickness, so I only really get morning sickness between the hours of 11 and 2:30 a.m. So yeah, it's been pretty unpleasant, and I can't explain the tiredness that I'm feeling. You know when you get a sickness bug and you're sort of recovering, you've kind of finished being sick after maybe 48 hours, and then the next 48 hours you just feel like death. Kind of feels like that, but it's not for 48 hours, it's been for the last 6 weeks. I'm taken quite a lot of anti-sickness, and I think it's anti-acid reflux, because that's the reason I'm being sick in the night. I was really sick, I think it was the week or maybe 2 weeks before my sister and I went to Phantom of the Opera in Hamilton, so I'll insert the correct week, which was where I was just having awful sickness every single night. Since I've started the anti-sickness and the anti-acid reflux, it has got better, but I was sick again yesterday. My mum and my grandma actually never had morning sickness, so I was kind of hoping that I would be the same, but definitely not the same. I've got some little cardboard sickness bowls as well, and I can't leave them anywhere because Lemon keeps taking them and ripping them up. She has been mainly good, to be honest. She's a very good dog, and I mean, she's got a lot of energy, but like, she is a good girl. She is my best friend. Like, I love her. She is like, she's just the best. She's so good for company, and she's just got she's such a lively dog. She's so full of life, and she's just generally pleasant to be around. However, I remember when she was not very well a few weeks ago, and I think that was around the same time that my morning sickness was just, or like nighttime sickness was just out of control. And it was so difficult because she was having these kind of blood diarrheas, and it would come with and I know that sounds horrendous, but it was more that her intestines were really irritated. So it wasn't that anything was really wrong, it was just this weird irritation, and the smell of it was just absolutely sending me. And I had to ring Josh a couple of times to come back from work. He's self-employed, so obviously he can do that, because I couldn't clean it up without retching. Up to the point where I was retching so badly that my back was just really, really painful. And in this pregnancy, I've had quite a lot of different joint pains anyway. I think I found out at 4 weeks 6 days, which by the hospital's dates is 4 weeks 4 days, I think. So I found out quite soon, and I just had the worst knee, ankle, and I think it was wrist pain as well, just ever. I've never had pain like it for the first 2 weeks of my pregnancy, or the first 2 weeks that I knew I was pregnant. This was around Christmas time, and I live about 3 hours away from my family, so I haven't been back since Christmas because I've just been feeling so unwell and just not like myself. It's been really odd because you can't really see that I'm pregnant. I mean, I can tell I'm pregnant, and by like midday you can tell that I'm pregnant, but in the morning I just have a little bump, so nobody really sort of suspected anything. And then I just feel like death, and it's so difficult because you're sort of trying to not tell people, and then they ask how you are, and I'm a very open and honest person, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm really tired, and they'd be like, oh, like, why are you so tired? Pregnant. And I just kept oh, I've just wiped that all over my trousers. I have found it really difficult not to tell people, just because I'm a very sort of honest and open person. I think it's probably the ADHD, to be honest, but yeah, I found it really difficult to not tell people, because like when I'm not well and someone asks a question like, oh, why are you not feeling well? The natural response for me would be to just say why I'm not feeling well. So that's definitely been difficult in itself, and I've also been a little bit concerned whether I'm sharing this news too early. I've had a really hard time during my pregnancy sort of coming to terms with the fact that I am going to have a baby. I think a lot of the time I expect for something bad to happen, and I know like I should think on the positives, and I thought if I don't share this, I think it's going to drive me mad. I mean, it is getting to the point, especially when I film something in the evening, I'm just very, very visibly pregnant. I have quite strong opinions. Well, maybe not strong opinions, at least opinions for myself. I just don't think children need to be on social media. I mean, if you have a private Instagram account or something like that, it's a little bit different, and if you know everyone, but I definitely do not know all 280,000 followers that I have on Instagram. So I thought I don't want to put my child in any potential risk. I'm always really cautious not to say where I live. I know I say that I live in London, but London is massive. There's so many different bits. Like, I'd never say which section of London I'd live in or what borough I live in. I was exactly the same in my hometown, which hopefully we're going to be moving back to now that I'm pregnant. I've never said where I live. I don't know. I'm quite private in the security kind of side of things. I don't know if that makes sense, the security side, but like personal details, like where I live, where I work, I just think there are some things that the internet don't need to know. I don't want to say I'll never put a picture of my child on, because I kind of feel like newborns, not that they all look the same, but you can't really tell, not that they can't tell them apart, but when, I don't know, you have a picture of a newborn and then you see them at 3 months, they look very different. Obviously I share a lot of pictures and videos of Lemon, but you know, she's not actually a human child. She's my child, but she's not a human child. Of my child on social media, and obviously I share a lot of like Lemon videos and Lemon pictures on my Instagram, but she's my dog child, like a human child. I don't know, there's a lot more risk with having a human child and people seeing said human child, and I just think I do my social media. I mean, I don't even really post much about my husband or my family, not without their consent, because I just think, you know, it's quite a lot. 280,000 people is quite a lot of people that I don't know, and I wouldn't want to put anyone in like an uncomfortable situation, if that makes sense. Something I still find really odd is like people know Lily and Lemon by name, even if I don't mention their names in my video. They'll be like, oh, Lemon's so cute. And I think, oh my goodness, how do they know Lemon's name? But obviously, like, you guys follow me, you keep up with what I'm doing. So I love that. I really love that we have that connection. But I just think you have to put boundaries in place to keep your children safe. And I just think at the moment, I don't think I'm going to share my baby. No. Oh. I've literally just got this highlighter and I've dropped it. Look at that. Oh, that's really sad. That's the second time. I literally reached out to my PR people. Like, could I get another Enlighten highlighter? And I've literally done the same thing. I actually give up. So yeah, I am definitely finding it still quite hard to come to terms that I am gonna have a baby. I keep thinking that something's going to go wrong, something's going to happen, there's going to be a test result and it's going to come back and it's not going to be good and the pregnancy isn't going to be viable. So that's definitely something I've been struggling with, especially I think week 6 to 12. I think that's when I've really been, or maybe 6 to 10 was probably the worst, and now that we've got to week 12 I'm a little bit more like, okay, this might actually happen. So the scan I went for yesterday was actually my 3rd scan. For a lot of people this is their first, but I've had a little bit of bleeding. I think it was around week 6, and then I also had some around week 9 or 10, and I didn't know if I was being dramatic because I thought I didn't want to do the wrong thing and waste anyone's time by turning up and wasting resources. But I got a midwife friend and she said it's always just best to go and check, even though she wasn't concerned, and I talked about the bleeding and I showed her. She said she wasn't concerned, but it is always just best to go and check. And I went to King's Hospital for my first scan, and it was I don't know how to put this other than in the vagina. I don't know, like, the medical polite way of up the vag. Like, it was inside. It was one of those. So they're not the most pleasant. And the experience I had at King's College was absolutely amazing. They were so nice. They sat down and chatted with me for like quite a bit as well, just about my concerns, because I'm so new to this. I don't know anything. Well, I know little bits about pregnancy. No, I do know things about pregnancy, but I don't know things, you know, like what's supposed to happen in the first trimester, things like implantation, bleeding. I had no idea what any of this was. All I know, or all I knew, was that I was bleeding and I wasn't sure if this was going to be a miscarriage. And probably my most used search in the last 2 months is like, such and such has happened, could I be miscarrying? So yeah, I've definitely really struggled with just anything happening and I'm like, oh my goodness, am I miscarrying? And it's been a really frightening time for me, but I am trying to be a bit more hopeful and a bit more optimistic that this is going to go through. And I think by sort of sharing this with everyone, this for me is quite a big thing, because I thought I might keep this private for a really long time because I really think something bad's going to happen. And I think for me, now that I'm just sharing this, taking a breath, it might actually happen. You know, I find it really hard. Now, we are 80% sure on the gender because my midwife friend had a look at our photo and she says she's 80% sure. I'm not going to say what my midwife friend thinks the baby is because I would love to know if you are team boy or team girl. I am going to go for a private blood test this week. So hopefully by the end of the week I will know the gender, and I'm so excited. It's £130, right? And I've been really like umming and ahhing about it because you can do this from 6 weeks, and I thought I don't want to do it. And again, this is me being really negative. I thought I don't want to do it before the 12-week scan in case the pregnancy is like not viable, and then I've spent £130, we're not pregnant, what was the point in that? Just decided I'm gonna go and do it. I've been really nervous about it because I was like, oh, what if something goes wrong? I'm like, let's do it. It's like, the choice is mine. If something goes wrong, something goes wrong. I love to know things. I hate secrets. I hate not knowing things. I'm the worst. Like, if I know there's a surprise, if it's a complete surprise, that's absolutely fine, love it. If I know something's coming, like a Christmas present or a birthday present or a Valentine's Day present, and I must tell you about Valentine's Day because it's just too funny, I just can't do it. I have to know what's going on. Like, I have to know what's going on. I just can't stop thinking about it. So my husband Josh actually bought me 2 really nice Valentine's Day presents, which I will show you now. The first thing Josh got me is this little hair clip because I love hair clips with the little 3D things on. I normally get them from MEJ, but this is from Red Cuckoo. I've actually never heard of this brand, but I think he got this, is it Jumping Bean? It might be Jumping Bean or it might be something different. It's in a shop in Forest Hill that we really like. Is it Jumping Bean? I will insert the name where Josh got this from. It's in Forest Hill. It's a really nice shop and they do jelly cats and all like stuff that I kind of like. So Josh hid this underneath my pink cowboy hat, if you can see that we got at Taylor Swift, and I thought it was so funny because I did look yesterday. He went out to work. I looked for these presents. He hid one under the pink cowboy hat and then the other one was on his wardrobe, which is a jelly cat pig. And I thought, oh, she's so nice and pink. And our child is going to inherit such a lovely jelly cat collection, so we don't need any soft toys because I have done all the work. Very last thing I'm going to do before I love you and leave you, I'm going to use this Huda Beauty. I think it's like a contour. It's a lip contour stain and this is actually really good. I used this properly for the first time yesterday just before I went to the hospital, and what I do is I go along the edge of my lips and blend it in very quickly, and it kind of makes, it's like my lips but better is how I can explain it. Go and do something with my hair and then hopefully I will take a nice picture to announce that I'm pregnant. I'm not very good at taking pictures of myself, to be honest. I don't really enjoy it, and I know it sounds really silly because obviously like I do post on Instagram for a living, but I just don't really like being the center of it. Like I post a lot of self-care videos on Instagram and TikTok and that's what I like to do, kind of. I don't know, it's not so much about me, it's more like what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and I will see you in the next one.